So today's video is going to be showing you how to install a riser cable and get your card looking fancy into your NZXT case. Now, just because you don't have an NZXT case, this video will also show you how to, install your riser cable on about any board, pretty much. And now, before we jump into it, I want you to figure out how. Most of you probably click off the video, which you should watch the whole video. But don't skimp out on your riser cables. Some of the cheaper ones had very bad shielding, and that can affect performance and durability and stuff like that. This is a pretty decent cable. This is from TattsForLife, like that it is. And let's just jump into the video, because I'm Tats, and I make videos. So, yeah, let's get this video started. So this is the NZXT case. If you ain't seen a video yet of this, I put it in the description of when we built this. I actually got a couple part video of this, but I linked the video of us actually putting the internals into this computer, because we actually took apart an old gaming computer and cleaned it up and we stored it. Now, this does got a 970 in it. I will be replacing that with a 960 because this has got a Phenom 2 CPU in it, and this is actually a bottleneck. Yep, sad to say the 970 is a bottleneck on this system, but we're going to be fixing that. So first thing you want to do is make sure the power is off to your system. If it's on, shut it down and then unplug it from the wall. I always unplug my systems. It's just a personal thing because you grounded to the wall, and removing that ground always makes me a little bit easier peace of mind. So let's go ahead and remove the glass on these NZXT cases. The more you remove it, the easier it gets. Got two tabs, holds it on, very simple. Now I will go ahead and turn it off on the back and unplug it from the wall, which means I probably will have to reprogram all my RGB. Hopefully not. Once your computer is off, give it a few seconds to set and go ahead and unhook all your HDMI cables and everything off of your graphics card or display ports, whatever you got. Once you do that, if you got any screws or anything on it, you need to remove them. We got two screws holding this graphics card in, and it's held on by this little riser section here. You got to remove it first on these NZXT cases to get to these screws. So let's go ahead and remove these. That one about fell down inside the case. That would not be good because I don't want to have to take this case apart to get that. Now you have a tab on this, depending what it is. On newer boards it's up here, but down here is a tab. Go ahead and push that tab down, pull out on this, then you can unplug it. I don't like unplugging the cards on the PCI Express because you can actually wobble this while you're doing that, and you could break a solder joint or something. But this is the 970. She's a very good card. So let's go ahead and get the new card and the riser cable open. Always nice opening these cables. I poured the bag more than I did the opening. There we go. Oh, I thought that was it, guys. Something's holding us. Oops. We got it. But this is the thermal take. Now this is where your card sits down in. I will demonstrate that. So the card pretty well goes on just like so. The latch goes back here. Just normal. You pull it down and it goes in just like so. Now this is the 960. It's actually a SSC edition, and it should be plenty enough for us Phenom 2 and should not bottleneck us. I'm pretty sure the 960 will not bottleneck the Phenom. I will check it before the end of this video. Now to plug this in, go ahead and remove this. It goes in just like the graphics card would. This tab goes towards the latch. It goes into your place where your graphics card used to sit, just like so. Make sure it's latched in there. Pretty much once that's plugged in, you can go ahead and take your covers off this little thing. And if you ain't got your original ones, if you watch my video, I'll show you how you can keep up with them, put them up for later. But you should have them if you watch that video. just go ahead and use these in place of where your card used to be. It keeps it nice and, you know, looking neat. So let's go ahead and install the card. This is a 960. Flip it over, pull a tab down here, just like so, and go ahead and slide it in place. And once it clicks, that should pop up. Make sure it's seated good. Anyway, this thing just goes back in the back the same way you removed it. It's got two tabs on the bottom. Pushes back in place with a thumbnail. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple to do. Now just go ahead and screw it back in place. And go ahead and line your card up with it. And that's when you can pretty well make sure your wires ain't touching nothing. And if everything is correct, it should fit pretty much perfect on that. Just like so. And as you can see, our wires is touching just a little. That's normal. Sometimes you can loosen that thumbnail up and move that up just a little. Sometimes. And that will keep your card nice and sturdy. I'm going to put both screws in mine. Now our card is in there. The riser cable just pretty well hugs this down here. Now I have seen riser cables get damaged because of that harsh pin right there. But that's the way to go. And that's how come you get a better quality riser cable. So that fold down there don't make a connection and then you have graphic card errors and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and cable manage this. This takes an 8-pin. Just like so. And we can tuck lines out of the way. Just like so. For cable management. Out of sight, out of mind, guys. So pretty much, I changed my graphics card. I will have to install new drivers and stuff for this. But if you changing your old one, you should have no problems out of it. You should just turn your computer on and it should work. So go ahead and hook your display port or your HDMI, whatever you're using, back to the back of your card. Plug your PC in and turn it on and see how it works. That's what I'm going to do. The moment of truth, everything is on. You can see just a hint of the screen right here. And seems my RGB was saved. That's good. Pretty sure it was. And if you hear that, that's a hard drive in there. That's how come this computer's a little slow at booting up. We're going to upgrade that. That'll be in another video. You know, everything is working. I went ahead and installed the new drivers and everything for my new graphics card. Well, it's kind of an older graphics card than the 970, but basically, if you're upgrading your GPU when you do this, you will have to install new drivers. Now, if you're just taking your old GPU, installing a riser, moving it to the front of the case, it just plug and play. Another thing to note is this glass sets really close to its GPU, so it will have to fight a lot for air, for cooling. Now, you can buy an adapter that mounts further back to the side placements here, and it moves your card further away from the front glass of a case. Now, to note on that bracket, it is a little bit more expensive. You know, a good quality riser cable in that bracket is going to cut into your budget. But for a 960 and what this little computer does, I'm pretty well happy with the placement of this graphics card. And as you can see, it looks extremely good in there. Now the graphics card is set at 44 degrees. And let's start a game up and see if it bottlenecks, shall we? So this is Subnautica. This is on the high setting. I will show you it right now. Options right here. And everything is pretty well on the high settings. So we are getting around 40 frames per second to the 30s. Ain't really dropping under that. The GPU is at 96%. 86, 81, the CPU's around 60 and 75 and bouncing. As you can see, that's a good match. Before, the CPU would be maxed out at 100 and the 970 would be running at about 20%. That was a major bottleneck. and I'm trying to do this one-handed because my tripod's set up over there. So I would try to film this with OBS, but on this Phenom 2, it's already pushing the CPU, as you can see, 90%, GPU 99%. Yeah, OBS would just stutter and be a waste of time. That's how come I'm filming it like that. I actually need a dedicated capture card for stuff like this, but CPU 100%, 90, 91 GPU, and I think that's a pretty good match. And this is very playable. I mean, 40 frames a second, 41. Yeah, a little pop in here now, but this is a Phenom 2. Also, this Phenom 2 is not overclocked, so overclocking this would help a little. And yeah, maybe a next video. So that's pretty much how you install a new riser cable into your PC. This is an NZXT case. You know, I put it in the stock factory location, but you can buy a converter, a conversion little bracket that moves the GPU further back. And if you're having bad thermals where the GPU is pretty much pushed against the glass, if you're having thermals trouble, then that bracket will help you get it away from the, keep your cosmetics and keep it looking nice the way you want it. Help you out on that, but it hurt your budget a little, because a decent bracket and a decent, you know, riser cable, it runs into money. Now, on the side note, this is just a 960 SSC, and this is a Phenom 2, and thermals are just fine the way it's set up. Now it's can game, as you can see, it even game Subnautica pretty decent. Now if you're looking into recording with OBS while playing these newer titles and stuff, it ain't going to happen. OBS is just going to be maxed out. The CPU usage and everything, you're just going to have stutters in that recording. So maybe some other kind of device will help you, catch a card or something like that. Probably would, but that's another story another day. All in all, I'm very pleased with it. This Phenom 2 system is coming along pretty good. We're getting some helpful how-to videos on it, and plenty more content to come. So if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you just coming by, as I always upload almost daily, and check it out, thank you for watching again. Leave a comment, drop a like. See you next time.